All right, I'm going to show how to do an analysis here, or just what I'm asking for this analysis here. So let me just make my page better. Okay, so you're gonna once you're in the app, you're gonna click on this little hamburger on the right hand side. I think you can also click right here to get to your analysis, but you just go here and go analysis, and then you click on one of your games, and then the first thing should be my errors and blunders. So I was looking at this blunder right here. When you go to this blunder, you can, if you go down here and click on checker, this is a checker blunder. There's cube blunders as well. So cube blunders are fine as well. You could do either. I don't care what you do. You can do a cube or a checker play. I decided to look at a checker play. So this is the checker play. It shows you your play first. I played 8 to 2 hitting and 24 to 21. I liked the play at the time. I thought, hey, let's be aggressive. Let's hit a checker because white's really going to start coming down on me and building a pretty strong board. So I wanted to get something going here. Um, but it ends up being so you can, if you click on this checker thing, it'll show you like the equity of the play and what's the winning chances here, and it'll compare your plays. And like this was the best play, this was the second best play, and this was my play. So this was the correct play, which was coming out with a 24 to the 18 and then coming down 13 to 10. And they say this plays a little bit better. Well, it wins more games and only gets gammoned 22% of the time, so 42 and 21 gammons. My play, on the other hand, wins less games and it gets gammoned more. So what we say is this was kind of a reach. This was kind of a little too aggressive. Like I did too much here. I'm not in the position to be this aggressive. What happens if you look at this position? It's going to leave like I blot up all over the board. These two are going to turn into blots. These two are going to turn into blots, and the game can get really ugly really fast. So this play, it introduces two new blots coming down here and coming out. But what we do here, what we hope is that by coming out to here, this creates kind of a diversion, a distraction. So white's going to be forced to try to attack this checker instead of using these checkers to build points on their inner board. When I play this one, I put this checker right in a spot where white wants to hit. So white could hit with any of these two checkers or these checkers. 1, 2, 3. These three checkers could all come and hit that checker. So it's just, and white can come in and hit me on a 2. It's just a little bit dangerous of a play. So that's what I was hoping you could do for this. It might be hard. I don't might not be able to explain it. Say I don't understand why I did this wrong. That's fine. I just want you to get into the point of looking at your analysis after the game. I could have looked at this cube error too. So this was a kind of an interesting cube. I took this cube, which was kind of, I guess, quite a bit of an error here. I don't think I really realized I was on the bar now that I kind of come back to this, because if you look at in the game where this occurred, was it in the first game? It was in the first game. It was right here. So what happened was, this is later in the game. I guess, yeah. So we'll just look at. So what happened was, I was hit. I came in and I did this play, which was kind of bad. I shouldn't have broke the structure here. This was also a blunder here because I should have just moved 12 to 11 here instead of breaking my inner board. It's usually bad to break your inner board. And then white came after me afterwards, and they actually missed a cube. They had a pretty nice cube here. They were in a pretty strong position before the roll to really start to hit me pretty good. But the play that I was going to talk about was I danced here. So I was on the bar and I danced again with a 6-1, and then white decides, okay, I'm going to double this position now. And then I had to decide to take or not take. And with, I thought I got an anchor here. I'm going to be in this game to the end. I felt I was not going to definitely. I thought I was going to have a chance in this game, and white still has 3 checkers back. And I thought, hey, if I get in on the 2, I'm going to be really happy. But it's white's roll, so white's going to probably knock me off the 2, and I'm going to have 2 checkers on the bar. Is probably what's going to happen. So I should have thought more about this, and it was a pretty big drop. This is saying like it's a 1.64. So this is actually called a 641 point error. This error is huge. Just saying there's no reason to really take this cube. It's better to just give this game up. Um, And actually, this was an error on his part. Actually, if we go look at it from his standpoint, this ends up being an error on his point. This is actually considered a too good position. He's in too good of a position here because he's winning 40% of the gammons here. But I helped him out. I was a total fool and took this cube and gave him the chance to get all these gammons on me as well. Because when I took this cube, it ends up being that he's winning 40% of the time in gammons. And then his next roll, he rolls a 2-5, which is actually I thought maybe he should have hit with the 7. It ends up being they're saying not to hit. They're saying just bring a checker in. This is a tough call. I don't know if I would have got this one right. I think I would have hit. I'd like to see what the error was on hitting. Anyway, that's what I'm asking you to do for this. So then what I want you to do after you do this is to come into your discussion space. So I'm still building the discussion space right now, but I want you to come in here. I want to be able to look at what your errors were. So I'd like you to take a screenshot of the blunder, and then take another screenshot of the correct play, and then try to explain why the error took place. And it might be tricky. I don't know how far you'll get on it, but what I want you to do is, so let's go back to that error. So if I go back to my log, I can go into my errors and blunders, and this is the one that I decided to look at. So take a picture first of your play. So you go into checker, take a picture of your play. This is your original play that you made the mistake, and then show a picture of the correct play, and then try to explain why your play was inferior to the other play. All right.